Hey crafty friends, it's Jen from Katahdin Crafts, and welcome to the Lawn Fawn Fans Fall 2022 Hop. Our fall video hop is being sponsored by Crescent Creation, which is an online store where you can not only find just Lawn Fawn products, but you can find much, much more. I will have that linked below for you. Make sure you check that out. And in order to qualify for this $25 shopping spree, you have to comment and like below. And the more you hop along and comment under everybody's inspirations today, you will have more chances of winning that $25 shopping spree. So easy win-win situation here. You get a chance to win $25 worth of product and get inspiration all at the same time. For my fall project, I wanted to make a reveal card. In their latest release, Lawn Fawn came out with this adorable stamp set called Apple-Solutely Awesome and a new Apple add-on for the reveal wheel. I thought that they would pair perfectly together to create a little fall scene. The first thing that I did was get out my Misty and my Lawn Fawn Jet Black ink, which is Copic marker friendly, and I inked up all those stamps twice actually. That gives it a nice crisp image, and I did two sets of these. As you can see here, I ran them through my scan and cut die cut machine, and I came up with two different sets just in case I made an error. It would be all ready to go. And now I'm going to get out my Copic markers and a color. This is the first really color intensive card that I have done in a while, and I love it. I actually have just been doing a lot of die cutting lately and not a whole lot of coloring like this with images, and this just reminded me of how much I really do love to play around with my Copic markers with blending and shading and coming up with these cute little scenes. So you can see that I tend to use 3 different tones, and I am buzzing this really fast because you have lots of videos on this hop to watch today, but I wanted you to see the colors that I did choose. I go with a light tone, a medium tone, and a darker tone. I first map out my shadowed areas with the lightest marker, and then I go back with the medium and then the darker, and then I go back to that light marker and blend it all out. And that is what I find works best for me. And like I said, you can see all of my color selections on the side on the caps. If you happen to have any questions on my coloring method or anything else that I'm doing on the card today, go ahead and shoot me a message and I will be sure to get back to you. This was so much fun coloring. I love all the cider and the little apple pie and then the caramel apple. Do you all do apple picking? Because where I am from in Maine, we do go apple picking. We did last weekend, and they have a corn maze and a pumpkin patch. And it's something that I've done annually with the kids since they were very little. I absolutely love fall, the smells, the colors, all of that. So now we are making our reveal wheel, and you can see that I added that Apple add-on right to the wheel mechanism itself, and I cut that out. And that's what you can do with those, is that you just add on all the little add-ons, and they have that little space that you slip those right in for perfect cutting. And now I'm going to add or cut out all of the little extras that come with that apple, so you can do all those little details, the leaves, and then that frame that goes around the apple. And I'm going to work on my background right now. I have a cloud stencil with my favorite sky color, Tumbled glass. And then I also like to add a little shaded lilac and spun sugar into my skies just for a little bit of that pastel look. This is my favorite method of making a sky, and you will see it repeated in my cards. It's just something that I like to do. And then, of course, mowed grass is my favorite for my grassy areas. And I am using a hilly grass stencil and just putting some of that on there and then just filling it all in, because I don't really want my paper to be a stark white background. So I'm going to add a little bit of color on top of that. And now you will see sections of this reveal wheel in the background. So I'm going to go ahead and make that a sky as well, just to make sure that that all blends in well together. And again, just making sure it's not too white. So now I'm going to use the stencil. You can choose to have 4 different spots or 3 different spots with these little reveal wheel stencils. And you just have to take some low stick tape and attach that to that mechanism part, the wheel. And now this will perfectly space out those sections to pop up in the wheel as you turn it. So what I was going for on my look here is things that you can make with the apples after you pick them. So I chose all those things, the cider, the apple pie, and the glass of cider, and then that caramel apple, which I absolutely love caramel apples. And now I'm going to put that wheel together. You use a tiny brad and you put that little mechanism on the back, and then you add your glue dots or your foam dots to that, and that just gives it some space to be able to turn. As you can see, I took the backings off of that foam tape, and now I'm going to place this behind the wheel and line it up where I want the wheel to be showing. And then I'm going to line it on my background piece. And that way I have perfect placement, and I'm just double checking to make sure that that wheel will in fact turn. And it did. The reveal wheel was created for an A2 size card. So my background paper that I chose is 4 by 5 1/4, and that is going to fit perfectly on my card base when we get to that step. Right now I'm going to add my sentiment using the Misty. I wanted to put on that absolutely awesome. I think that that is super cute, and there's a nice space for that up in our sky. And now when I have all of my stamping stuff out, I'm going to go ahead and add my little sentiment in my sign. There are several different selections for that, but I chose fresh apples. And then I'm going to put my little faces on these adorable apples, and that just adds a lot of extra cuteness and interest to the card. Now, what was bothering me, when you do the scan and cut, it does leave some background there. It doesn't get into all those little pieces or all those little spots there. And that was way too white for my liking. So I took out my Tumbled Glass Distress Oxide ink again in a small brush, and I just lightly brushed that on, and it made me way happier. Yeah, because it blended a lot better. So I liked the way that that came out, and it just took away from that stark whiteness that really bothers me. So that was my solution. All right, and now I'm decorating that little frame of the apple. I love that little detail, and I'm going to put together our scene. And again, I'm going to get those spaces in that little ladder with the background color. And I'm going to put that cute little mouse on top of that ladder. He's reaching up for one of those apples. He's got to have one in his hand that he got with a cute little smile. And now we're just going to decorate the rest of our card, put our scene together. I love all the little details that they have in this set. That sign is super adorable, and like I said, there's different little sayings. There was one that said yum. I almost went with that one because that would have been cute for all of our little things in our wheel that you can do with the apples. And I like that. I couldn't leave out the pumpkin. I am a pumpkin lover. So we had to add a little pumpkin, and that also adds just a little bit of other color besides the primary, the red and the green that we have going on. And I like the detail too of that half cut apple right there. All right, in order to have that wheel move, you do have to have a little bit of dimension. So I'm adding some foam tape to the back of this panel, and I'm going to center that and attach that to our wheel mechanism and our background. And now that is all set to go onto a card panel. And this is cut 8.5 by 5 1/4, and then scored, or 5.5, sorry, and scored at the 4 1/4. And that is an A2 size card. And then this will frame on perfectly just like that, and you will have that little bit of white still showing. And I like doing that. I like the way that that makes your cards pop. And I didn't want to leave out this giant happy fall, so I chose that same paper that I had in my stash that it looks like fall leaves to me. So I chose that to go on the happy fall. And now I love shimmer and shine, so we're going to hit this with a Wink of Stella clear sparkle pen and just make those apples really shiny and glittery, and a little bit on that apple pie. And now we have to add a few little sequins just to add something into that space that was empty in that sky. And there we have it. And unfortunately, I realized when it was too late that I did not spin through that wheel for you. I do apologize, but you did see in the card which images I chose to add there. Thank you all for crafting with me today and following along on the Lawn Fawn's fan hop. And I never really said what we are. We are a group of crafty friends that share a love of all things Lawn Fawn. Yeah, and we're hoping to inspire all of you with our love. So I am followed by the wonderfully talented Peter. I will have his link below to his project. Make sure you hop along. And again, the more you comment and hop along to all of our projects, the more chances you have to win that $25 shopping spree to Crescent Creation. Thank you very much to my friend Carrie for organizing this hop yet again. This is my very favorite hop to do. So I really appreciate her, and thanks to Neha for giving us that wonderful gift certificate to Crescent Creation and sponsoring us today. Thank you all so much. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I really would appreciate your support. So hit that button below, and I will see you again soon. Thank you very much, and happy crafting.